Hello my friends, John LaRuffa here with another Straight Up Solo, and in this episode I'm going to be doing a full playthrough of the solo mode of 1862. Some people have asked me for this, and I am happy to oblige now that I understand the game well enough to be able to do it. So without further ado, let's get started right now.
All right, before we switch to the overhead camera, I want to show you a couple things that you may not see because they're off the board. Some of my tiles will be off the board over here, so I'll be keeping those. I've got the bank over here, some permits, but for the most part, I should be able to capture most everything. And then I have all my the companies over there, along with the 9 stacks or 9 rows of 6 stocks, each dealt out randomly. We already have these 4 companies out of the game. Y and N, I and B, L and D, and EUR. So I've taken the stock of Y and N off this. That was the only one that was exposed. And that's how you start the game. So I'm also going to then block those tiles right now. So Y and N is out of the game. We're going to go ahead and block his. And then we've got, like I said, I and B out. L and D out. And EUR out. And you just take these tiles and do it. There's plenty of them, and you almost never use those in the solo game. Okay, I've also dealt out my train routing, or the discard tiles for the different engines for the first round, the second, the third. Again, we're going to be discarding. Actually, it's really not the first round, but the first time you'll see that happen. And then I've also put out the companies, the 6 different types of permits in random order. They came out like this. And so we should be in good shape to start. So let's go ahead and get ourselves underway. Oh, and I did get my $600 right here. So that's how you start the solo game for the solo experience. So here we go. All right, so using the stock rules here, you can move them around. And when you do that, you put them on top of one another, kind of making pairs and such. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to put these 3 on top of each other, making a triplet, and then also put the ESR on top of each other to be able to bundle that up. So let's do that. That will give me the opportunity then to purchase these 2 companies right off the bat, and we also have the L and E. We have an NGC over here, so we have some coming up in the future that could be good. The WSTR is also probably pretty good. The L&D will come out. Entity. So I'm going to move this around here. Put that over there. The L&D is out of the game, so we discard that. That frees up the N and E. I can put the N and E together like this. And actually, no, you know what I want to do? I'm going to put this N and E over here. And that'll put the I and B over here. Yeah, that'll allow me to do, ooh, this is really nice. So I happen to have, right out of the gate, a great opportunity to buy 5 shares, if I wanted to, of one company, 3 shares of another. This L&D, again, goes out. So this is an interesting start here, okay? Now, WVR is right here, so that gives me some easy access to this port right off the bat, which is good. And then you have ESR. ESR is over here, which is access to this port, and if I can rope around here a little bit later, access to London, which is good. So let's start with ESR. So that's 5 shares. That's going to be interesting because that's a lot of shares. So I'm going to end up spending a lot of my money at first. So we'll do that, and let's go ahead and get the ESR company out of here. We'll set you aside, WVR, since you're coming soon. Okay, here's ESR. And I'm not going to go through all the rules of how to play because there are really good rule videos out there, but you're just going to get to see me play. I'm going to kind of narrate what I'm doing and why, though. All right, so that's 5 shares of ESR. I've got $600. This is going to be a freight permit company. All right, and so I've got to set the par price. And because I don't want to lose all my money right off the bat, I'm going to probably have to set the par price fairly low. This is going to provide for some interesting challenges here. But if I set it at 62 times 5 is going to be 310. All right, so that's what I'm going to have to shell out of that for my money. So that's half my money. I think I'm going to do that though. So let's go ahead and get ESR up and running. we've got our 62, and we have 3 stations right there. Plus, I've got the marker here for my par price. We'll go 62, and the marker here to go ahead and track. All right, so with that, like I said, you've got to pay for these. I set the par price at 62. 62 times 5 is 310, okay? And so let's go ahead and pay 310. So that's 310 right there, leaving me with some more money, which I'm going to use right away to pick up WVR. So let's get WVR. It's going to be my local train. The only problem with WVR being a local, well, it's not a problem actually, because I'll be able to hit some of these smaller regions, and that's going to pay off. So that's good. So we'll hit that. Oh, and so I've got to give this company at $620. All right, 5, 6. So that's 620. Okay, and then here, I'm gonna put all of my eggs in the rest of the eggs in this basket here to be able to maximize these two. So that's 3. So I've got 280-ish, 290 actually left. So let's put it up at, this is a local, so let's go, let's take it up to 90. Let's go to 90 on this one, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and set the par price here at 90. Put my, put ESR over here. Then we'll get my stations. All right, and of course I'm going to set these as capitalized companies, or I don't remember the term. It's not the chartered company, pardon me, the chartered companies. Okay, and so that is going to be 90 times 3 is 270. So we've got 275 going into the bank. All right, $5 and change. So I've exhausted myself for the most part there, and I'm going to go ahead and get my 3 WVR shares. That's going to wipe me out from a cash standpoint, so I'm not going to be able to do anything else for this first stock round, so I should be good. Let's go ahead and proceed to the first operating round. Okay, so I need to give myself the 900, by the way, for this. So that's 500 and there, so that's 900 for that company. So the first thing we have to do is pay for stations. That's $180, so let's go ahead and cash in the 180, pay for my stations. I have to place my WVR out here, and since we're going to be talking about hitting up the local joints, we are going to go with a hard turn like that, so I can start getting these guys. Okay, and there we have it. I've paid for the stations, I've placed. We have no train, we do not operate, so we go down 1, we have to buy a train. I have a lot of money, and in the case of what I'm dealing with right now, I think I'm going to buy 2 A trains. So that'll give me enough to run my locals into these areas here, because then I could go to round. So I'm going to buy 2 A trains. Now, look, I'm very inexperienced still at this game. I'm not a master at it. So you might be saying, oh my gosh, stupid, 2 A trains? I'd never do that. Well, I'm going to just play it as I see it, all right, from the gut today. So more or less, I'm just trying to demonstrate what we're doing here and, do well on the way. So that's 2 A trains right there for $200. We're done with WVR. We've operated. We have put our tile. One thing I didn't do. Oh, I do need to, see, that's an N. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to want to do is I want to finish this by putting out my second train tile right here, because then I can build the Ipswich for the end next time and start to generate some income. Okay, so we're done with WVR. Now we go to ESR. ESR has to pay the $180 for its stuff. So they'll give me $360 back, or $320 back after I pay $180. Okay. Now we are going to put him. So here's ESR. So we've got a possible merger that we'll be able to do if one of these guys gets cash poor. So it's an N. So right off the bat, we're going to be utilizing this N right here. And I like that I think I like that. Yeah, that's what I want to do, because then I'll be able to hit the freight in the beginning. And this is blocked, so you can't even go in there. Okay, perfect. So we've got this there. Because it's an N, I can only place one of them, and I have to buy some trains. So in this case, I can get away with one freight train. I don't have a lot of money, so I want to save more of my money to get the B engines when they come up. So we're just going to get one freight, and we're going to have that. That's such a weak train. So that basically will be from here to there. I'm going to have to get two, because otherwise that first operation is going to be very weak. So I'll blow the two. All right, so that's $200 for trains. That way we can hit the port, start making some money, because I got a lot of stuff to pay out. Okay, we cannot operate. Should have flipped that first before I bought trains. There we are. That is the end of the first operating round. We were up here. Okay, and I think I've done everything necessary. Paid, did that. Okay, so at the end of the operating round in a solo game, all the A trains that were not purchased get discarded. We are not yet in the B phase because the first B train has not been picked up. We go to the stock round. This stock round, it's just a game way, but I don't have any money, as you can see, so nothing changes there. I don't see any reason to necessarily swash anything around. We're not going to spend any time on the stock round at this moment, although I could just, take a quick look and say, okay, the L and E's could come together, and this EUR should have come out of the game last time, along with this L and D. And then if I do that, at least I've got the WNR, which was way up there, kind of shaping up for a potential buy. Yeah, so why don't we do that? We'll expose this, which will then allow for me to do this. And, oh no, I want to see that Weaver sooner, WVR, sooner rather than later. So we'll go ahead and put that there. We'll leave these alone as they are. Okay, so nothing else to do in the stock round. We're back here to the next operating round, and let's go ahead and see how that goes. All right, so what I've decided to do, we start with Weaver because it's the first one on the top. I'm going to go ahead and build both of those tiles there to get a nice little loop going. So we will hit up. So the interesting thing is if I do this, that's going to make for a problem. I may change my mind immediately. You know what? I am, because if I don't, I'm going to have a time and a half getting around here. So I've already changed my mind literally as the words came out of my mouth. I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to build here with a tight turn. That way I have the opportunity. Is that going to help? Yeah, I'll have the opportunity, I think, to, I don't know if that's going to help or not, because if I tighten it up, I'm still going to get a bottleneck there. I guess I can along the way come down, but I'll do this because I'm going to actually sacrifice this space here by turning in a different direction to tighten up and get there. Not maybe maximizing the full local train, but we'll see how it goes. And in that case then, as I say that, I don't want this. I want this. Because if I'm going to be running a local train, I want to go up this way and then keep on going, and my freight from the other company can head down there. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we've done that. Now we are going to operate Mr. Local here, and what we are going to do is we have a 2 and a 2, so that means it can make 4 stops. I have 3 stops on the board, plus you get the stuff in between. So that's going to be 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Don't maximize the run, but that's good enough. So 120. So what I like to do is, that'll be a 12, okay? So the way this chart works is these little numbers here, you take your total amount, you divide by 10, that's your share price. You look on this little chart and you see, okay, 6 to 11, that would be a single move. 12 to 17 would be a double. 18 to 23 would be a triple, etc. In this case, I'm counting the wrong one, but so 9 to 16 is where I would be for that. So that 12 is between, so it's a single jump. So we up it by 1. Like I said, it's 12 a share. I've got 3 shares, it's 36. So 25, 35, 36. I like to put my money right on there. That way it shows I've done it, I've operated it, it's just a clean way for me to do it. Plus, I traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. That's $50 into the company treasury right there. Do I want to buy a train? B train. Yes, I do, because B trains are great. I know that at least. So I'm going to buy one B line here, and that will give me, so that's for 200 a piece. So single B line will put me now into the B phase here, and I'll be able to go 2-3 with that, and that will help me as I expand out further. So we're good there. Okay, so we've operated WVR. Now let's go ahead and operate ESR. ESR is a freight train, so the first thing we need to do is make some access to this port here. So let's go ahead and do just that. That'll be move number 1. Move number 2 is going to be over here. So there's my laying of track. I don't want to place the station, don't need to place the station. I didn't need to on the other one either. There's no reason to. Okay, so then I'm going to operate. So in this case, I want to hit here. So I have 2 freight where you do not count the first tile you leave, okay, as far as the distance to go. So I've gone 1 and 2 distances, and you count the place you originated and the place that you end. So that would be 40 plus 70. Oh, you know what I forgot to do with WVR? I forgot to put that up there. Okay, now, all right, so that's 110 plus the 30 for going to a port is 140, plus the 1 single space in between is another 70. So that would be, I think, 170 if I'm doing the math out loud in my head correctly. All right, so 170 it is, right? 70, 70, 170, yes. All right, so that's 17. So 17 on this is a double jump for ESR, almost a triple. That would have been sweet. Double it is. All right. And then 17 per share. So I have 5 shares, so that would be 50 plus 35 is 85. So 85 a share, that's 75, 85. Very lucky to have that many to begin. All right, so we're fat, dumb, and happy there. Now let's buy a train. So when I buy a train, this will be 200 bucks. All right, we're going to get that freight. And that's going to wipe out my company, really, from a standpoint of operating or from treasury. That's okay. I can always merge it with the other one, which I most likely will do. Just don't know exactly when I'm going to do that yet. All right, so we've bought the train. We've operated. That should do it. Now, at the end of the round, the solo rules say that I have to discard this many trains plus 1 train extra if I didn't buy any. I did buy trains, so we're going to go ahead and discard 1, 2. All right, so that has been done. Okay, now we put this money into the bank. Here we are. Okay, and we're back into a stock round. So now I have 120, 30, 130 and change. So let's see what I want to do to spend that in the stock round. Okay, so what I've decided to do, actually, because I forgot that I and B hits the road, they're gone because they're out. That means NGC can get going, and we can pull him up here. So I have that. Now YNN is out, and that allows me to bring, so LND is out, so he's a kind of a dead stack anyway, but we might need that stack in a bit. So let's bring W and R over here. This will trash this. Now I have an open stack for when I need to add a stack, which I will need to soon. I have NGC as an option right there, which is also another powerful one because it's an express. That's probably where I'm going to go with this, but I don't have quite enough money to do it right now. So I'm going to not buy the NGC. Instead, I'm going to put WSTL or whistle out of the game. So if I put whistle out of the game, I got to go find them in my random stack here of cards. All right, so whistle's out of the game. That will free up this spot, allowing me to be able to purchase this. Now, because they're out of the game, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cover this right there. So they're done. And now I can buy the WVR. I buy it for the purchase price or the par price over here, which is 90. So this is 100 and 10 back is 90. That way I am enjoying another share of WVR. And that's all I'm going to buy this round, but I got my eye on NGC once I pocket a little bit more money. So that's my stock round. Now, I am in B, so B opens up the both of these tiles and 2 operating rounds. So green tiles are available. Now I have 2 operating rounds between stock rounds, which is good because we need those. So we'll slide into here. Now I can upgrade to green, and let's go ahead and ponder what I'm going to do. Okay, I've decided to continue to extend my track. We're going to do that out to here, and we're going to place this Y track. And the whole reason being is I feel like I need more network. And with the local trains, the longer the better, because I get all those interim connections. So we're going to do that like this, okay? And then I have a 2, 3, a 2, and a 2. So I have enough to go 2, 2, and hit that 2, all right? A lot of 2s. So that's good because that's pretty much almost the whole network. So we're going to go through here, then we're going to attach here, and then hit the rest of it with all my trains. And I, of course, I'm going to be moving through my home station, so we have no problem there, but I'm going to put this there for later expansion purposes, as I believe I have an idea what I want to do later on. Okay, so let's go ahead and score this. That's 20, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 190. So now we're up to 190 with that. That's 19. 19 is a double bump. All right, just fantastic. And that's 19 per share. But before that, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I hit 8 different tiles, which is $80, which is nice about a local train. The longer, the better. So that's cool. All right. And then, like I said, 19 times 4. So we've got, let's see, so it's 40 and another 36. So it would be 76. So that's 75. 76. I have operated with WVR. Now, with ESR, I want to get myself into here as fast as possible. I'm also running out of money, so this is going to be the last time I operate ESR by itself. I think I'm going to have to merge after this. So let's go ahead and move here. And I would love to place a station here, but I can't do it yet because that's your whole expansion once you do that. So first, like I said, let's get ourselves through Sudbury and then down to Whittam, okay? Now, I can't quite get as far as I want, but I still get to extend through, so that's good news. I'm going to end up not dropping a station, don't need to. So I have a freight of 4. So for instance, if I started here, I could go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I could start here with my 2, hit there, and then chug through, and that would be okay. In the case of this, though, I do need to stop at my own station to continue to gas up. So, and this is sometimes one of the more confusing things about this game is making sure you hit your stations. You can score other stations, but with the freight train as they daisy chain along, you need to make sure that you can, like, kind of, you know, re-tender the coal over here. So that will work because on that 2, I can start here and go 1, so 1, 2, and then I can get more and out. All right, so that will work just like that. And I still have my 1 left that I need. So starting here is 20, and then going here would be 70. We're in the AB phase, so we're just getting 70. So that's 90, plus I get 30 between for the port. So that's 90, 120, 150, 180. So we make just a little bit more going like that. Not a big difference because I lost some on that. But that's the way it works. Yeah, so that will be 30, 60, 90 plus the 70 is 160, 180. Yep, okay. So 18 on this is a double again. So we're in good shape. We double it up. Spin it around. Okay, and then 18 times 5 is going to be 50 plus 4 is 90. So $90. That's 100. Let's do it this way. 100, put back 10. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Do I want to buy a train with this? So the thing is, I forgot to buy a train with WVR. If I buy a train, it's going to help me extend for a little longer. The B trains are good. The issue is in 3, he's going to discard 4. So if I don't buy 1, 2, 3, we're going to be rusting no matter what. You know, but I don't need all that local capacity. That's the issue. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to need this money in a second. So better or worse, I'm not going to buy a train. So skip all that. Okay, now, at the end, do I want to acquire? I want to merge these companies at the end of this round. Let me think about this. I think I do. In fact, I know I do, because I'm going to need, when these rust, I'm going to need something. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and merge these and be done with it. Yeah. All right, so let's merge them. Okay, so the merge procedure, first of all, let's put this in the bank now. We know I paid both. So I'm going to have ESR be the surviving company. And what that means is you take all of this, all of your stocks, and create a pool, okay, when you merge. And then you discard 1-to-1 for the stock you keep versus that you don't. And the one that doesn't get all the way done, we go ahead and rotate it in half. So I'm going to have to buy this other half I want. So WVR is going to be the dying company. I get all this shares. I put these together. I get my extra train. WVR bites the dust. I do get the station, so we're going to take the WVR station and we're going to make it into an ESR. Okay, so that's gone. We can restart him. So when I put that little local on there, really I should take a local from the stock here, because this local stays with WVR. He can be restarted if I want to. Okay, so we've got that. We got the money together. I need to buy this at the new price once I combine them. So to combine them, I take the lowest amount, 82, and I take half of this. So half of that is going to be 55. So 55 plus 82 is 137. That's going to be my new stock price, which will be right here. All right, this, the ESR surviving, goes all the way up. And then WVR comes out of the game completely for now. And we replace the stations with ESR. All right. So ESR, just like that. There we go. And now we've got new pricing and everything else over there. What I originally was going to do, but I've changed my mind, is I was going to buy NGC and start it first, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not worried about it, because I'm still got to buy this, and it's going to cost me some money. So now the new price for that one is half of 134. So what is that? That's 60, 70, no, it's 67? 67. Yeah, 67. All right, a little bit of math in this game. So 50, 60, 5, 6, 7. And if I make a math error, I may catch it, I may not. Hopefully I do catch it. I don't want to be an idiot about it, but there is a lot of math. Okay, so now, basically, in doing that, I got myself some cash, flushed up this. I've got a very strong network here. I've got a lot going on. And then when he goes ahead and takes his 4 trains out, because I didn't buy one this round. 1, 2, now we're into C. 3, 4. My A trains are going to rust, so these are gone. But I've got some B trains to hold down the fort, and I've got plenty of money to buy a couple of C's, which is awesome, which is what I'm going to need. So these A's are gone, just like that, and the B's live on. Don't rust on me. Okay, and we're done with that operating round. So we flip this over. Now we're starting the next operating round. Now we're into C phase, which means now we're into better spots here, better spots there. We still only have these 2 to deal with, but that's what we've got. So we're going to enter into the next operating round right now. All right, so now I think what we're going to do is we want to be able to get into London for the work to operate here. When you go and place a station in London, it's the only thing you can do from an upgrade standpoint on the turn of the company. So that basically takes care of that. So now we have a 2 freight train and a 2-3 local. Not the best, but London is strong enough where I'm not going to be able to get it this turn. I'm going to have to buy more freight, but that's okay. I've got enough. So I think it makes sense for me to do that. So back to the 2, that really means I can only go 1, 2, span the difference here. All right, so let's go ahead and do my freight run that way. So I'll take care of those 2 stations. It'll touch there. And so it's going to be 100 because I'm in the C phase now, plus the 40 is 140, plus the 30 because it's going to the port between, so that's going to be 170 right there. Now, I'm going to operate my local train, and I'm going to go from this station 1, skip this 2, and then the 3 right there. That's probably the best way to do it. Or I could go, because I've already counted this, so I can't count it again. I could go skip there. No, I'm going to do this way. So that's going to be 20, 40, 60, plus the 20s in between. So 80, 100, 120 on top. So 120, so that would be another there and there. So for a total of 29 or 290, the spots here, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? 1 there. No, I'm screwing that up. Can't go that far. I could only do, because it's a 2, 3, so I still can only go to 3 stations, which is like this. So I have to subtract 40 from that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 250. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 50 here, which is still pretty good. All right, so it's 25 a share. I've got 5 of those. That makes it 125 total. So 125. Now I'm definitely going to, and then 25. So 25 here is a single jump, which is too bad. Wish it was bigger. Them's the brakes. Now let's buy some trains. So the C train's rust on F, which is kind of a rough deal, but there's not much I could do about it. I'm definitely going to buy this freight train. We need to start cashing in on more of those. So that's 280. Let's see what we got here. Here's 2, there's 3, so we can easily afford that. Now, how much do we have left? Not enough for another train, that's for sure. I've got 100, 200, and close. So I will be able to buy one more train. Let's see, so the C trains are that, what's the D train? The D train's 360, so maybe I'll be able to figure out a way to finagle that. Regardless, that's what I'm going to do. And that was my second operating round. Now, I did buy a train, so the game just cycles the 1, and I'm still in C. Okay, so that's over. And we're out of operating rounds here, so now we go back to a stock round. So I'm going to start another company for sure. I happen to have, let's see, so that's 200, 250, 60, 70, 270 and change. The one that I want to start is NGC because it's close enough and it's an express. I'll be able to get action in London really quickly and work around there. So let's go ahead with the NGC pull. So 3 of these. All right. And with that, so I could do 3 at 82. That would be, well, what did I say? At 250, 60, 70. I'd actually rather do 2 or 3 at 90. So that's 27 or 270, pardon me. Let's do that. Let's do it at 90. So 200, 250, 260, 270. All right. Spending all my cash like that. Now, give the company $900. So this is a 5 and 4. So $900 going to, we're buying, what did I say we're going to buy? NGC, right? NGC. Charter company configuration. There's the money. NGC's Star Station plus 2 more for the charter. And by the way, these components that I'm using are upgrades that you can buy think it's Rails and Roads. I can't remember the site, but you can find it on Board Game Geek and such. They advertise there, not advertise, but you get links there. I love the component upgrades. The normal components are just fine too. Don't get me wrong. I just like I like the wooden pieces and the stickers and the color. I just like that a little bit more. Okay, and then we have this. So I started that company. Is there anything else? I don't have any money, but just in planning here, we are going to see this NGC come out in a second, so that's good. I'll have to buy it for $90. That's okay. I'm all right with that. This INB goes out. This stays up, so that's good. This guy goes out. We have a WVR, not in anymore. I want to get to this ESR, so we'll have to figure out what we can do there. Maybe we put WVR out of the game completely. But that's a problem doing that, because if I put it out of the game, then it locks in the WVR tile as undevelopable. So that's going to be a challenge. I don't know what to do there. We'll figure it out. Okay, so bottom line, that's it. That's all I'm going to do for the stocks. I wish I had some more money and I'd be able to do another one of these, but I'd rather pump up the company value early. Okay, so that is the end of that. Now I said we were still in C, so that puts us back into the green operating round here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide on how much ESR we're going to operate. So we have that 5 freight. So we can get in here now. That's 150, which is good. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can actually make that happen, which is good news. But before we do all that, let's go ahead and do some upgrading. Let's turn that N into the 60 spot, which we were thinking about doing earlier, but we didn't. Let's bash our train lines all over Kingdom Come while we're doing it. Okay, so there's that. That is set up now. Of course, it's a great time for someone upstairs to be vacuuming, which is awesome. Really appreciate that. All the live long day we could use the vacuum, but now we're going to use it while I'm doing this video. Regardless. Okay. Oh, and I was supposed to shuffle these up at the end of the turn here because we are going to have a new set. We're going to go 2, 3, and 1, all the same order. Okay. So anyway, now we have this set up here for that. So that's going to be 60. It's going to curl around. We're going to do 150s. That's 210 to operate that, plus 20, 40, 60 in between. So 210 plus 60 is 270. So we get a little bump there from the freight. So that's good news. Plus we got this local guy who can, again, go in between here. We've already scored this, so perhaps what I want to do is go, it has to touch. So we'll go like this, this, and this again. Not the greatest, but, so that'll be 20, 40, 60, 80 more. Okay, puts us at 350. And so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the 5, and then we'll score that. So that's $50 more, which is good because I'm gonna need that for the train. And I said 350. So 350 is a 35. 35 puts us in the second bump category. So bump, bump. There we go. And we're good on that. Now, 35 times 5 is 150. So 350 plus 175? 175, I think? Yes. So 175. All right. Public math in my head on a camera. Sort of a recipe for disaster. Okay, so NGC cannot operate, so he goes down like usual, but he can expand. He has to build. So he is going to build in this segment right here because he has to get on the board. And then he's also going to extend down there for our inevitable freight run to a different to London, and that costs $180. So let's go ahead and spend the $2 or the 200, pardon me, to get my stations, pay for the stations. All right, permit. It was an express. There we go. Now, buying a train. So, buying a C train. Oh, I forgot. I always forget. I need to buy a C train for this guy. And I'm going to do that. Wish it could be a D. That's really a bummer. But I do not want to wait again because I'm going to lose out too much. So this guy's going to get the D. So, all right, C train here, and 280, and it's going to be an express, or I'm sorry, it's going to be a local. We're just going to run a big local line. Hopefully it'll pay for itself, or pay enough. So C is, that's 100, 200, 250, 60, 70, 80. So 280 on the train right there. Okay, so we've done that. Now we're going to buy the D train for this guy. The D train does come with a warranty, but I know I'm going to run it next time, so I'm not going to bother with it. But it is $360, so we're going to go ahead and throw in the 5 and get back 140. So let's get back 140. Okay, now we have our express train. Very good, and that was that round. Oh, and now the game will buy into here. So here's the thing. Once you get into the D trains, you finish this round here. You're now into the D section, which would put you up here. It allows you to build, you can build russet tiles, so you can upgrade to the russets. I don't know if you can see that. You can upgrade to the russets, but the key is that after this round, you're going to get one full round and the game's going to be over. So it is a tight, quick game in a lot of ways. Quick in the 18xx sense when you're playing solo. All right, so anyway, we bought our D train. It just ate away the other 2 D trains, and so we're going to be quickly into G before you know it. All right, so we've both operated. Now, starting again, we can upgrade some track here for ESR. ESR probably going to do the upgrade since we're using the local. He's going to build his thing in there, so I want to help out this upgrade. And the ESR could upgrade up through here or anywhere in between. The locals are going to span some of that. Let's see. Let's just upgrade the Y at this point, I think. So we'll go with a green Y. All right, swap that out. Now we're at 50. Okay. And now we're going to operate. So, operating ESR. Oh, I forgot to put my money away. So ESR, the 5 freight, nothing changes there. That's still going to be coming from here and around. We are in D, so we don't change the bracket. So that is still 210 plus 20, 40. I think I may have counted that wrong last time, darn it. Because I think I counted 3. It's as the crow flies. So what I'll do is, if I did, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. I don't know. I will penalize myself one of these right now. I didn't buy any stock. It doesn't really matter. It didn't really change anything. But I'm just going to do it just in case I missed it. So that what I said was 210, and we're only going to take one of these, so it'll be 230. So we'll start with 230. Okay. So we did the freight. Now the local. So we got to hit this with the local train. We got to still make that connection through our main station as usual. We've already scored it, so we're not going to count that. That'll be the one station we skip. Perhaps the best thing to do, let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can skip this station and still take the 3. So I will go from here through and around all the way to there. Okay? And count every station in between but these. So we're going to have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, and the 50 is 190. So adding 190 to this puts it at 420. Plus, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's $100. So the local trains, when they can cross the countryside like that, they can really get you some scoots, which is nice. All right, so we got $100 there, and the payouts of 420. So 42 happens to be a double jump again, which is awesome. So that company is really cooking with gas for us, gaining some nice traction. So we've operated with them. We're good to go. Now, do I want to buy trains? I don't have enough money to buy trains. It would be nice if I could, but I don't. So I don't. And I could run without getting a payout, but I'm not doing that because it's still, I'm making some decent bucks here. I'll probably end up starting a company and figuring out how to merge it or something in a minute. Okay, so that's 42. So 42 times 5. So 5 times 4 is 200 times another 10. So 2, let's see, 5 times, yeah, 210. 210. So 210. Okay. Now, over here, we are definitely going to upgrade that to a, actually, no, take that back. We're going to plant our station in London because that is going to definitely make the most sense with the Express. So London's going to be station number 1, station 2, 3, and 4. That's how we're going to get through here. I definitely don't want to do any station placement over there that could penalize me in that regard. So anyway, okay, so we've got 150 plus this, 170 plus this, 220 plus this, 240. So 240 on the board here. A 24 is, oh, so close. It's just a double. Could have been a triple. That would have been awesome. But we did what we could do. So 240 it is. I did that right? Yeah. Okay. And so that's 24. I've got 3 of those. That'd be 60, 72. So let's take 75 and toss in 3. 72 it is. All right. They both operated. Do I want to buy a train? I do. Do I have enough money? 2 D trains, though. That's like a kiss of death. I'm not going to buy another D train because they're going to rust on me and then I'm going to be stuck. So let's forget about that right now. We're going to hold off. That means we didn't buy any trains this round for either of them. So I have to discard 4. And this is where it gets rough. Look at this. 1. Now we're into E. 2, 3, and 4. So into E, all on the doorstep of F, which means my B trains rust away. So that is going to take the jelly out of my donut on these lines, unfortunately, but that's 18XX for you. All right, they've rusted away. Now we are going to get into the next operating round here.